All right. Awesome. Here we go. The end of the world as we know it. There's a new movie coming out at the end of September by Christopher Nolan called The Creator. And I have mixed feelings about this movie. And in this video, I'm going to share some scripture. We're going to talk about artificial intelligence and how it ties in with the book of Revelation, chapter 13, the image of the beast, all that kind of stuff. But I want to let you know that I am a huge fan of Christopher Nolan. He's one of my favorite directors. So as a Christian, I have mixed feelings about going to see this show. And again, I'm going to share my thoughts in this video, but I'm most likely going to see it anyway because I'm so curious as to what he is going to do with this movie, especially if it ties in artificial intelligence. Like he hints at the idea that bad people don't go to heaven, and neither do people that are hybrids, if you will, artificial intelligence, cyborgs, whatever, because they're not people. And I've been playing around with that idea for the past year, ever since I created my YouTube channel. The idea that if you introduce artificial intelligence and you incorporate it into your body, let's just say you use Neuralink and all this kind of stuff, you're messing with things with your mind that you may not be able to get back. And this is one of those things that I think Jesus was hinting at when he was talking about, if your eye offend you, gouge it out. If your right hand offend you, cut it off. It's better for you to enter to heaven with one hand, or it's better for you to enter into heaven, into God's kingdom with one eye, than to be cast into basically everlasting fire with both eyes. So it's interesting that Jesus talks about that. So let's just jump to Revelation 13, and hopefully by the end of this video, you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to see this movie. What I would strongly encourage you, no matter what happens, is that you pray that the Lord would protect your mind going into this movie. Because there are some movies that have whatever influences, demonic influences, other type of cultic influences, whatever it is. There are some movies that have the ability to influence people, some in a positive way, some in a negative way. And I think this movie potentially could affect people that don't know Jesus Christ in a negative way. And it could also affect Christians that don't know who they are in Christ. It could also affect them in a negative way as well and create seeds of doubt and all this kind of stuff. And again, like I said, I am a huge fan of Christopher Nolan, but I also walk in with basically every movie that I watch. I walk in thinking, like, what is this director trying to tell me? What is he hinting at? Because there's always seems to be subliminal messages underlying what's really going on the screen. We see this with the Matrix. We see this with the Terminator, all this kind of stuff that really at the end of the day, mankind is doomed if we introduce artificial intelligence. And I'm going to share with you how I believe it ties in with the Bible and why we should be on alert. I don't think we should lose sleep over this, but I think we should be on high alert, as though the Lord is going to return even today, even today. So, and we also have to live our lives as though Christ could come 1,000 years from now. Now, there are people that argue and say, oh, no, he's coming any day. And we've heard this for hundreds, if not thousands of years. But I do think with the introduction with artificial intelligence that the clock is spinning faster than 500 years ago. All right, so let's jump into Revelation chapter 13. All right. The end of mankind as we know it. If that isn't clickbait, I don't know what is. All right, let's just jump into it here. The beast from the sea. So again, this is verse 1, Revelation chapter 13. If you don't know where that is, it's the last book of the Bible. Then I saw a beast with 10 horns and 7 heads rising out of the sea. There were 10 royal crowns on its horns and blasphemous names on its heads. The beast I saw was like a leopard, with the feet of a bear and the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave the beast his power and his throne and great authority. So the beast in this verse is referring to the Antichrist. Now, Daniel talks about the beast as well in Daniel chapter 7. I'm not going to dive into that, but we have John on an island of Patmos that has a vision, and Jesus Christ himself is revealing the future to John. So let's continue here. Let us continue. All right. One of the heads of the beast appeared to be mortally wounded, but the mortal wound was healed, and the whole world marveled and followed the beast. Again, we're talking about the Antichrist. The whole world marveled and followed the beast. They worshipped the dragon, who had given authority to the beast, and the dragon is the serpent. The dragon is the devil. The dragon is Lucifer, that ancient serpent, the one that was in the Garden of Eden. Excuse me. So the devil gave authority to the beast. And what's interesting is the devil also wanted to do this with Jesus Christ. He said, if you bow down and worship me, I will give you all authority in the world, because all authority was given to me. How? Because of Adam and Eve. And they worshiped the beast. That's people like us saying, who is like the beast? Who can wage war against it? When I say us, I'm talking about people that are fearful for their lives and end up worshiping the beast. Hopefully not Christians, but I do think there's going to be a percentage of people that are going to bow down to this image, to the beast, to the Antichrist, I should say. We haven't got to the image of the beast yet. The beast was given a mouth to speak arrogant and blasphemous words, and authority to act for 42 months. And the beast opened its mouth to speak blasphemies against God and to slander his name and his tabernacle and those who dwell in heaven. So who are those in heaven? Those are people that die in Jesus Christ, as in anybody that, let's just say you're born again Christian and you pass away, past week, month, year, 10 years, 20 years, whatever, you are instantaneously in heaven with the Lord Jesus Christ. So the Antichrist is blaspheming those who dwell in heaven. Now, we're not talking about just angels. We're talking about Christians, and blaspheming his tabernacle or his throne in heaven. So the Antichrist is obviously anti-Christ, anti-Jesus, anti-God, which is interesting in itself, because if you're not careful, it could look like this guy's doing the world a favor by getting rid of God. Then the beast was permitted to wage war against the saints. So God allows the beast to basically kill whomever he wants. Christians, non-Christians, anyone that believes in God, anyone that believes in Jesus Christ. or any religious person, whatever, whoever the beast wants to kill, he can kill, and to conquer them. Basically has his way with the saints, and was given authority over every tribe and people and tongue and nation. So basically he becomes a world leader. He runs the whole planet Earth. All right, where are we here? Right here. And all who dwell on the earth will worship the beast, all whose names have not been written from the foundation of the world in the book of life. So if you are a human being, I believe, and you are not a hybrid of, like, you don't have artificial intelligence built into you, you don't have Neuralink, all this kind of stuff, you're not half human, half robot, half animal, half person, whatever. I believe these people are written in the book of life. Now you can argue and say, well, it's only Christians are written in the book of life. But what's interesting is the book of life was created from the foundation of the world, ever since Adam and Eve. All right. So the book of life belonging to the Lamb who was slain. So this is all those people that believe in the Lamb. Who's the Lamb? The Lamb is Jesus Christ. So if you think, well, Moses didn't believe in the Lamb, Abraham didn't believe in the Lamb, I think you'd be mistaken, because they knew that the Messiah was coming one day in the future. They knew it. King David saw it. King David, I believe, saw Jesus. He understood that he was not going to see corruption, that he was going to live forever. And David talks a lot about that in the book of Psalms. But anyways, let's continue on. If anyone is destined for captivity, into captivity he will go. If anyone is to die by the sword, that's what that's supposed to be. By the sword, he must be killed. Here's a call for perseverance and faith of the saints. Here's where we get into the image of the beast. The beast from the earth. Then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. This beast had two horns like a lamb, but spoke like a dragon. And this beast exercised all the authority of the first beast and caused the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast. So this is the false prophet whose mortal wound had been healed. So the Antichrist gets wounded and gets healed. And then here we see the second beast, which is almost like a priest, if you will. And the second beast performed great signs. So it's not the Antichrist performing great signs, but the devil gives this person, the second beast, the ability to perform great signs to cause even fire from heaven to come down to earth in the presence of the people. And this happened a few times. This happened with Elijah when he said, if I'm a man of God, let fire come down from heaven, and he killed a bunch of people. And then fire also came down from heaven when, I believe, again, it was Elijah that was challenging the 450 prophets from Baal and burnt the offering. And then also when King Solomon dedicated the temple, fire came down and consumed everything as well, consumed the offering. So this is something that appeals to religious people as well, to show that there is power, that this guy has power and can do signs and wonders. And if you're not careful, if you're a brand new Christian, this could look like, well, this is definitely a power coming from God. The second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast. so that the image could speak and cause all who refuse to worship it to be killed. So the second beast, we'll call him the false prophet, was permitted to give breath, to give life to the image of the first beast. So if we're talking about artificial intelligence, we're talking about becoming self-aware. So breath could be like spirit. I don't believe it's oxygen. I believe it's to give it life so that it could act basically on its own, the image. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, we're talking about this is the time when artificial intelligence becomes self-aware. But 2,000 years ago, there wasn't a word for artificial intelligence. So when you think about John being in a prison, fasting, getting a vision from Jesus Christ, trying to describe this statue, if you will, or this image that he sees in a vision, he's trying to figure it out. The only way he could describe it is this beast, this image of the beast is given life, just like God gave life to Adam by breathing into Adam and basically giving Adam the breath of life. And this is what separates us from animals. Not that animals don't have a breath. What separates us from animals is we have the ability to think for ourselves. And I believe the image of the beast will have the ability to be self-aware, will have the ability to think. And the false prophet says that anyone does not worship the image of the beast is to be killed, and that is to get guillotined. There's going to be guillotines all over the world set up, and people get their heads cut off. Should have made this rated PG or whatever, but it's important that you know the truth, that this is what's going to happen in the future. Is it happening today, right now in their streets? No. Is it happening in some countries? Possibly. We know in the past there have been martyrs that have been killed, but we're talking about now this isn't just going against Christianity. This is against any person that does not bow down and worship the image of the first beast. So you can think of this as artificial intelligence. I don't know what the name will be called yet, but know this, that it's going to be able to speak, and it's going to be able to cause all who refuse to worship it to be killed. So because it speaks, probably blasphemy and all kinds of things against God himself, against Christ, his son. Anyone that doesn't fall in line, that's another word for worship. If you don't bow down, if you don't follow, if you don't take the mark of the beast, you don't take the chip, you're going to be executed, probably in a public square in front of people. Teach them a lesson. Teach other people a lesson. Mark of the beast. And the second beast required all people, small and great, rich and poor. We're not talking about Christians again. This is all those that do not know Jesus Christ, because I believe that the Christians are gone by then. And I could prove it in another video. The second beast required all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, so that no one could buy or sell unless he had the mark. And this is the trick. Once you get people to, the only way they can buy or sell anything is to have a mark, a tattoo, and a QR code, whatever it is. It could be your phone, whatever that you have to keep on you. Could be a digital passport embedded into your forehead, into your right hand, because most people are right-handed. If you don't have a right hand, probably most likely it'd be in your forehead, and it could be embedded into your eyeballs. Who knows? Who knows? Could be on your right hand, so that the only way to get rid of this mark is to cut off your hand or to gouge out your eye. That would probably be the only way. So is there technology today that can do this, implant a chip into your hand? Yes. 100 years ago? No. So we are very close to this being implemented. And this is why I created this channel, is to let people know that you have to be on guard. And the safest way to be on guard, obviously, is to know who Jesus Christ is. And Jesus Christ is saving us from the wrath to come. It's all over the New Testament. Jesus didn't create us for wrath, but those who want to follow the beast, those that want to follow the devil, Lucifer, they're going to be in a huge world of hurt. It's not going to be fun. Nobody wants to be around, because the Antichrist will also have power to kill angels. That's right. He's going to have a lot of authority, and it's going to look like this guy's the most powerful human, or the most powerful being on the planet, that angels won't be able to stand up to him. And his false prophet is going to be able to do signs and wonders that would make you go, wow, this is amazing. You're going to be dumbstruck. You're going to be amazed at the miracles. You're going to see people getting out of wheelchairs. You're going to see limbs restored, all kinds of stuff, whether that's through artificial intelligence, artificial limbs, all this kind of stuff. Who knows what it is, but you're going to be promised life if you take the mark of the beast. So, continuing on. Free or slave to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead. This could be anyone that is not a slave, and slave could be someone that's in prison, because they can't just leave prison until their sentence is over. So these are anybody, basically any human on the planet has to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he had the mark. Excuse me. The name of the beast or the number of its name. Here is a call for wisdom right here. If you can crack this code, you'll know exactly who the Antichrist is. Let the one who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and that number is 666. Interesting, right? So what's interesting is King Solomon had the whole world come to him for wisdom. And he was also he also received, I believe it's 666 talents of gold every year, almost like a salary, if you will, from all the tributes from all the nations around the world. So that's coincidentally, that's what he was being paid. 666 talents of gold every year, annually, for 40 years. And I think that is the last slide. We covered lots, but it's important to know that we win in the end. I know it's easy to say, but there are going to be tough times ahead. Is it going to be tomorrow? Probably not. Is it sooner than later? Very possible. It feels like there's a lull right now. There's a quietness. Just before the pandemic, things felt pretty good, and then all of a sudden, boom, the pandemic hit. So I think there's another tidal wave coming. This is one of the reasons why I created Black Swan Revelations, is because I talk about Black Swan events, and a Black Swan event has basically 2 or 3 things in it. One of those things is it's something that you never expected to happen, and something that's catastrophic, as in it changed the whole world. And there's one more that I forget. I think one of the things is also is on the other side of it, when it's over, you'll look backwards and you'll go, I should have saw it coming. So my job on this channel is to let you know that, hey, we are in a Black Swan event right now. Is it the end time Black Swan event where the Antichrist will come in? I believe the only way the Antichrist can be revealed is when we get plucked out of here. When we disappear, the Antichrist will be revealed, and then you're going to see all this stuff that you can't buy, sell, anything without the mark of the beast. And do I think it's going to be an actual chip in your brain and on your right hand? Boy, it sure looks that way. It sure looks that way, that we're days, weeks, months, years away from having either something implanted into our eye for facial recognition or on our right hand in order to buy merchandise at stores. It just looks like that way, especially if you go to tap for fuel. It wouldn't take very much. Grocery stores hold like enough food for one day, really. So it wouldn't take much to cause a bit of a panic and then to tighten things up. Like I had my wallet stolen about a month ago. What a pain in the neck. I had like $4,000 stolen on my credit cards. And I got all that money back, but it was a problem getting all your identity stuff back. That was more of the pain in the neck. My health card, my driver's license, all your proof of ID, all that kind of stuff was very difficult to get. Money was easy. I had most of my money back in my bank within a couple of hours. So don't think that they're not going to use something like that, where your driver's license, your health card, all this kind of stuff is obsolete instantaneously. And the only way to have it activated is to get a chip, some kind of a chip put into you, whether it's a tattoo, whatever it is, so that you can fall in line to what they want you to do, which is ultimately, at the end of the day, worship the image of the beast, which is, I believe it's some kind of artificial intelligence. And we're already here. We just can't see it. And we're in a Black Swan event. We just don't know what it is exactly. But we're very close to having something rolled out, unveiled to us, whether that's in the fall, whether that's next year, where all of a sudden you're going to have these worship centers throughout the world that you have to pay tribute. Maybe it's 3 times a year, whatever it is, and you have to bow down and worship this idol in order for you to eat. And once you take away people's food, they will do anything. And I don't think it's a good idea to want to be around in that time period. And the easiest way to not be in that time period is to believe in Jesus Christ. All right, so that's part 1. We'll go a little bit deeper in the next video, but thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of this. Feel free to comment. I always leave my comments up. If you like this kind of thing, if you want me to go a little bit deeper, like talking about what I think the knowledge, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is, like, do I think it's a time machine or whatever that is? Maybe I'll talk about that in another video as well, and why Adam and Eve got kicked out of the garden, why they couldn't take of the tree of life. I'll have to make a video about that. But anyways, hope you got something out of this one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Feel free to comment, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.